this is the kind of main registration, parking, event area for the next monster race, the Winter Monster Race. So this will be the kind of hub of the activity. All the friends and family will be up here cheering people on. All the volunteers will be up here making sure people are registered, looking after bags, etc. So this is year 2. So first event was here last November, pretty much dead on a year ago. We've been really pleased in that we've had a lot of people that took part in the first one. Did our summer event and then have come back for this one, so we've got a lot of guys that have got 3 medals from 3 events so far. We get access to the site from the Monday before, so we have 5 days solid in setup, so we have a build team of about 4 to 6 people on site consistently through the week putting things up. About 3 or 4 people doing the course marking, all the kind of miscellaneous bits and pieces. So the event day itself, we end up with, we've probably got a team of about 50-60 people on site. The success, a lot of it comes down to having the right people in place and effectively use the same people now on all 3 events. So the builders were fantastic, did exactly what they said they were going to do when they were going to do it and went above and beyond and did more for me. So I've used those continuously now and I continue to do so. We use a lot of paid marshals for the course, so we know we've got a lot of people, all the obstacles are covered, we know we've got enough marshals to make sure people are safe. Both the venues I'm using are country estates, so I thought they work well in terms of the features you've got. They've both got enough water, woodland, trails, big fields where you can put stuff in to keep it interesting, and there's a real mix of terrain at both. They also, I mean, the venues need to work in terms of logistics as well. You need to get somewhere where you can get a massive field where you can get 1,000 cars in. It's tricky, that's one of the big things, and one of the hardest things is trying to find a venue that works geographically in terms of the catchment area, and where they'll actually let you come in and put a mud run or an obstacle course race on their venue. It's growing, I think we're about 150-200 up on this one, on year 1. So it is growing, but it's a hard graph to get that growth. It's not going to go from 0 to 1,000, from 1,000 to 2,000 unless you've got a lot of money to throw at it. I think it would be very hard to start from scratch now. I think a couple of years ago there was space for it, but my feel personally is that it's getting to saturation point. And this year I wouldn't be able to do this from scratch because there's so many good events out there. You need to throw a lot of money at an event to put enough obstacles in to make you stand out for people to come back the following year. So I luckily was in the right place at the right time. I think now it'd be very hard unless you've got a lot of cash to chuck at it and you're happy to kind of take the risk that you're not going to get anything back. This is year 2. We're getting pretty decent numbers, but I'm still not making any cash out of this. It's all just getting pumped back into the event to grow it. So I mean, you can see this is a man-made section, but the mud has built up naturally over years and years and years of being in place. So we've dammed the stream into the section to try and keep it so it's at the right consistency and right level of mud for people. I think what we'll do is we'll monitor it over the next day or 2 and keep an eye on it and maybe potentially add a bit more water to it so we get it nice and gloopy, just to try and get that right texture for folks to crawl through. So a stream section like this, you're looking at, this is about 300 metres long, you're looking at 2 people for a whole day, down in the water, in the mud, clearing it, basically getting rid of any branches that might be sticking out over the stream, could poke somebody in the eye, could trip somebody up. Going through the stream itself, clearing any debris. Over time you can imagine there's just logs in there, sticks in there that could potentially trip somebody or spike somebody as they're running along. So it's surprising, you look at it and you think, it's just a stream, we'll just run along it, but there's quite a lot of manpower and time and effort that goes into actually making it safe for people to come through and enjoy. The course is about 6.5k each lap, and we probably use 2 kilometres of tape on the course itself. So I think about 2 kilometres of tape, we've got over 100 direction arrows, about 40 wooden stakes, and probably about 50 or 60 metal pins for the tape and various bits and pieces. So there's quite a lot of man-made stuff on there to make sure people don't get off track. You don't want that first runner going off track and then everybody following them. I mean, taking part myself is reassuring. I think you always want to be able to see something visually to know you're on the right course, especially towards the end when you're tired and you just want to get to the end and get over the finishing line. So I think the more arrows and tape you can get on the course, the better. The obstacles we build, I think they're really good quality. The build team we use are brilliant guys. They're so good at putting things together in a safe, sturdy, strong way that you can get. There's going to be 3,000 people in total going over that over the course of the day. I'm completely happy that it's not going to flex or break, or there's going to be nothing wrong with it. So their day job is basically building horse jumps for international horse shows. So they're used to building stuff that a 2-ton horse can hit, and it's not going to fall apart. So we're completely comfortable that you can put some humans over this, and it's going to be safe and enjoyable. You're looking probably about £1.5 grand for the wall, for something like that sort of size and quality. So the design process tends to be kind of 4 or 5 trips out to the builders to actually sit down, talk over sketches, talk over ideas, talk over tweaks from previous events, what went well, what we could improve on, if there's anything that we could tweak slightly, and then really kind of take it from there. And then they'll build together kind of mock-up, and we'll go out to the venue, to the builder's yard, and look at it and say, well, how's that going to work in practice? How's the runner flow going to work? You're trying to make sure it's safe, fun, quite quick for people to get over, so you don't end up with big queues of people as well, because you don't want to be paying for an event and then standing there waiting to do something. The ideas are a combination really. I mean, you look at other events I've done, look online, surfing the web. Kids' playgrounds are a really good place to actually look at something that's on a much smaller scale and think, could we make that into a big playground for an adult to have a go at and enjoy? So I tend to get quite a few ideas from kids' playgrounds. This particular wall we keep together now. We basically bring it over by tractor to the estate, get it into position on the course, and then put it in. We use really chunky big steel pins on each side of the wall to keep it in place so it's not going to move around. But then at the end of the event, the pins will come out, we'll pick it up on the tractor, load it onto the truck, and then take it back to the builder's yard again, ready for next time. This one is, I want to say it's about 2.7 metres tall, 2.8 metres tall. So I think it's the second highest of the obstacles we've got. The A-frames we've got a little bit bigger again. Yeah, the obstacles are all designed in a way that they are going to be a challenge but safe at the same time. Safety's got to be the first priority at the end of the day. People need to enjoy themselves, but it needs to be in a safe, controlled environment. You get somebody fall off a really high wall and injure themselves badly, it's the end of the event and it's going to affect the industry completely. We had 2 guys working for 2 days solid on this. It's a funny one. When I said to them I wanted them to do it, I thought it'd be quite easy for them to do, but then when you actually factor in the weight of the tyres, the weight of the bars, the weight of the people going through it, it needs to be really, really strong so we don't have any issues of anything breaking or collapsing. So they've ended up putting a lot of time and energy on reinforcing and making sure it's strong. So each row was a trip to a nearby place to pick the tyres up, so we had 2 guys going backwards and forwards constantly for a day, loading tyres up, coming over, loading them on, going back, getting more. So I think they'll be glad to get rid of the last tyres when it's taken apart.
Well, I'm Chris Hines. I work for ACF, Corporate Hospitality Company, and we come along on these big events for Simon to make sure that the manning levels are safe, that what the guys are doing are testing, they're tough, they're uncomfortable, but they're safe. And then we put people that are quite qualified and skilled on certain obstacles to make sure that they get over them safely. We have a pool of about 25 to 30 instructors. Of those 25 to 30, I would suggest that 20 are quite specifically trained in the kind of work that we do. That is dealing with lots of people in confined spaces, organising crowds, making sure they're safe, interacting with the crowds, making sure they have a bit of a crack with them as well. We get some volunteers that come along and then we give them the easier stuff. You go that way, no you don't go that way, you swim here, you climb here. He's got 4 or 5 new challenges and I've just come along to make sure that they're all safe, good to go, that we can get people over them, under them, round them and through them without killing themselves. And then tomorrow morning we'll do the same exercise again. We'll walk around and make sure that during the night we've not had a flood, we've not had lightning, an earthquake, tsunami, whatever that changed the terrain too much. Sometimes heavy rains are blessing. The odd lightning bolt put a tree across the track, we don't mind that, but we still have to check it to make sure it's safe.
Cool, so morning the event, how are you feeling, Simon? It feels strangely under control. It's been really good. The setup week's gone really well. Everyone's grafted and put the hours in. So feeling really pleased with the way it's been set up and the way it looks. And hopefully everybody really enjoys the day. It all pays off.
Cool. How did the final day go yesterday? I know there were a couple of things to source out, but
yeah, I mean, it's always the way. There's a couple of things that always go down to the wire. The trouble of this time of year is you lose the light as well. So we were trying to get the slide sorted out last thing in the afternoon, almost going into the dark. So we thought we'd have to get the generators out to get that going. But it went well. Yeah, everything got done that we wanted to get done.
cool. And how long is it now until people start showing up?
We've probably got about another half hour until the runners start to turn up. So we've got the registration guys getting set up, charity getting set up for the bag drop, volunteers and crew getting out on the course to do a recce before the runners kick off.
Cool. And so what are you going to be doing for the rest of the day now?
Hopefully as little as possible, because the team really well, works really well, and it should run smoothly. I'll basically be kind of zipping around from place to place, try and get out on the course as much as possible, because I like to see kind of how things flow, what works well, what doesn't work well for the next event, so you can actually look if you need to tweak or improve anything.
I'm Dennis and I am director for race timing solutions, and we are doing timing for the Monster race today. And right now we're just setting up for the finish line here. So when they come throughout the day, we will have 2 laptops just around this area where people just can see their times instantly. If we do have a good internet connection here, which I do believe we have, then it will actually go out like pretty much instant to the web as well. Today we are doing the PA systems, which is just about to get up there. So they have a commentator doing some fun stuff with the warm-up and stuff, and we supply the speakers and the microphone for that as well. And then we hire out the radios, so the volunteers can communicate throughout the day from the different obstacles.
I am helping out at a race, the Monster race. I'll be on registration, just making sure everyone's got their foreheads all fully marked up, and yeah, that's my job for today, I think.
We're in Charlton Park doing the Monster race. First time, pretty nervous.
We're here to have some fun, we're going to enjoy it, and we're going to survive.
Yeah, just a group of friends, just saw it advertised, wanted to do something a bit different, so better than lying in bed.
Fun fitness, yay!
Yeah, it's brilliant, good fun, great laugh, no problems.
Cool. What was your best bit?
The swim was quite good, good laugh. Running with a team was good fun for a start, that was a good laugh.
What was your favourite bit?
Definitely jumping in the lake. You need it at that point, you get a bit warm otherwise.